All right, all right, all right, all right, all right.
Perfect.
All right, as you can see by the title, if you can read, I know most niggas cannot read, as we can see by Kai Sinat. But if you can read, um, we're gonna be watching Myron cook the University of Michigan students, and then we're gonna be watching Sneako and Nick talk about Venezuela. That's a good conversation. We want to hear both sides. So, not to waste any more of anybody's time, I hope everybody had a great day today. Let's get right into
The bitch shaking it, showing it. You this, you that. We laughing at them together. Oh! So stop treating these mother like they mean something.
let's go to TikTok. All right, now first video, of course, is gonna be Myron cooking. So you know how I don't like to play. Let's get right into it and see what he got to say.
ICE did nothing wrong. I'm going to try to stay on that topic as much as we can. I understand that we have some kosher friends here that might want to ask me some questions about, I don't know what it would be, but whatever it may be. Just for those of you that are not familiar, I'll just kind of go through this real quick. Number one, women are stupid. Number two, blacks cause too much damn crime. Number three, Jews run America. 4, Indians stink. What else? 5, Asians are good at math, as proven just here a second ago with one of the with the president here. And it wasn't 6 million. Awesome. Okay. So let's go ahead and go into the first person. Thank you for being patient, man. What's your name?
I'm Dan.
Hi, Dan. How are you?
I'm good. First of all, thank you for coming to our campus. My name is Dan Bitterman. I'm a senior in LSA. I'm also the campus fellow for Get This and Jew Hatred.
Okay.
And also the president of Students Supporting Israel on
Sure.
campus. So my
President of Students Supporting Israel with the little yarmulke on. I swear that's not even Jewish.
question for you is
It's like Russian or some shit.
this. Many of us, regardless of political association, closely followed Turning Point's MFest conference, to which you unfortunately were not important enough to be invited as a speaker, but rather as an attendee. There you wore a shirt which is now on your hat, likely as a desperate attempt to stay relevant, wearing a Let Him Cook shirt and hat, referencing and insinuating the support for the gassing of 6 million Jews in the Holocaust, a number which you regularly and not too long ago just denied. My question to you is this. What is your response to the over 6,000 Jewish students on this campus across a political spectrum that feel incredibly unsafe that someone like yourself is on our college campus?
So say that last. What's the actual question?
What is your response to the over 6,000 Jewish students at this campus across a political spectrum that feel incredibly unsafe that you're here?
And why would you feel unsafe that he's here? What is he gonna do? Come choke all you? Come cook all you? That's what I'm saying. Like, the victim mindset is fucking ridiculous.
Stop being a bitch.
Right.
Not gonna hurt nobody. Like, I don't know what the hell. This is the United States of America, man. Freedom of speech is a thing here. It's not Tel Aviv. If you guys don't like it, go back to fucking Tel Aviv, man. That's the reality. We got the First Amendment. That's what makes this country so great. And then we got the Second Amendment to protect that. I obviously never condone violence. I never condone any type of hatred towards someone simply because of their religion, their skin color, whatever.
Do?
What was that?
What did you just do?
Well, here's the thing. I talk about general realities, but in no way am I saying, oh, I hate Jewish people or anything like that. My thing is, because this is the Jewish tactic right here, literally.
Victim mindset.
If you're critical of certain narratives, or if you're critical of Judaism or Zionism or the state of Israel or how they just got done doing a genocide, it's automatically you're anti-Semitic or you make me feel unsafe. It's all a Jewish ploy to try to victimize themselves, when in reality, you guys have been the ones victimizing a bunch of innocent Palestinians, and someone like me calling it out gets labeled as, oh, well, you promote hatred, blah, blah.
And that's how they keep everybody in the loop. Oy vey, if we don't have our own state, it's gonna go back to the Holocaust. My mom was a shoe.
Well, look, if I exercise my voice to talk about how you guys are killing innocent children, and that makes you feel unsafe, well, I don't know what to say, because it's the reality is that Israel's that's doing a lot of the aggression here.
Well, I didn't mention the word Israel once. You walking up here twice saluted Hitler.
People are just over this shit, bro. We got black fatigue, we got Jewish fatigue. Niggas are over you niggas, bro. The internet now. Niggas cannot lie to us anymore. Can't say, That's not what happened. We have the video of you winking, nigga. It's like you guys are kind of cooked. You guys are kind of cooked with the American people who are actually paying attention. I'm hoping that everybody else starts to wake up, but you guys are really cooked, bro. This internet, y'all gonna have to nuke the internet. That's what you're gonna have to do. It's the only way that life is gonna be able to. You're gonna be able to lie to us anymore is if you nuke the internet. So, and when I mean nuke the internet, you're gonna have to take the shit off. You cannot allow niggas to communicate directly and quickly. So even if you censor shit, it won't matter. Niggas will find a way. Nick will go to Cozy TV, make his own site. Like, you can censor all the sites you want to, but unless you nuke the internet and all the information on it and just destroy the internet, it's going to get worse.
Hitler murdered 6 million Jews, which obviously you think is sub 271,000. So how do you say that you don't support and encourage violence when you just saluted Hitler on campus?
Here's the thing. The United States, the UK, everybody committed atrocities. History is written by the victors. And the reality here is we won, so we read it in a certain way. But
sorry,
dude,
is we America or the Nazis?
World War II was a horrible time, and a lot of people, millions upon millions of people died. So I just find it interesting how we only focus on this one part of World War II, and we don't focus on all the other parts of the World War II or other genocides that happened. We only focus on this, number of 6 million of Jewish people that were allegedly killed during the Holocaust. Now, let me be clear about this. I don't deny the Holocaust. I don't think that, I'm not saying it didn't happen. But what I am saying is I think the facts around it and the way that it's told in mainstream media, I don't think all the facts are accurate. And when you actually do the numbers and you figure out in the background, okay, well, there's an entire media industry behind it. There's a museum industry behind it. It's a narrative that allows them to seek victimhood anytime they're criticized. I think for political reasons, that number is used, but I don't think it's 6 million. Now, did people die? For sure. But for some odd reason, we only prioritize that. We don't talk about all the other people that died. And it's used from a perspective of advantage and tactically by the Jewish community and Zionism, etc.
What about the detailed records that the Nazis kept during the Holocaust? I don't know if you're literate, but if you were, did you read those?
Yeah. Records that basically their enemies went ahead and said, oh, yeah, but look at all these records we found. Look at this smoke chamber that's here that wasn't there before. Dude, there's so many problems with it. And to exterminate that many
If you actually watch the Nuremberg trials, the evidence that they brought for the gas chambers wasn't even evidence. They just had a nigga say, yeah, there was gas chambers. They didn't even bring evidence. If you actually watch the trials,
people in that period of time, simply put, there weren't enough ovens. So let's go on to the topic here with ICE. I understand if we have more time, we can revisit that. But the reality is to pull off what they claim happened in that short period of time with that less sophisticated technology, it's impossible. No way. And anyone that has half a brain and can do some math knows that it's almost impossible to do it. And to gas them, that's ridiculous. What's up, man?
I'm Alejandro. I'm a student of applied mathematics here. And my question was, how can you justify sending the paramilitary squads into elementary schools, hospitals, cancer wards, farms, to round up millions of innocent people and deport them to the third world? And I'm not talking about the jihadists or the cartel members, but the millions of innocent people who just want a better life for them and their families.
Okay, I'm assuming when you say paramilitary, you're referring to ICE?
Yes.
Okay. So, and I love how you just framed the question from a progressive standpoint, calling them paramilitary, et cetera, when they're sworn law enforcement, but I get it. So here's the thing. People break the law when they come to the United States illegally, okay? And we haven't enforced immigration for decades. Most presidents are pussies. They don't want to enforce it because it's considered political suicide.
guys, I say this all the time. If you go to China and you do some dumb shit, you're getting the fuck out or you're getting arrested. Do you niggas not remember when Brittany Griner brought some goddamn weed to Russia or some shit and they held her captive and they wasn't going to let her go? We had to literally give up one of the worst Russian operatives in the world to give this motherfucker up, to get this bitch back. A fucking WNBA player. So it's like, guys, niggas don't play in other countries. Why is it cool for us to play around? Why is it okay we just get to play? Nah, it's okay. They're looking for a better life. Who isn't? Who the fuck isn't looking for a better life? The fuck? You have to do it legally, bro. If you don't want to do it legally, I can't help you. again, if I want to go to Russia, I'm not just gonna go to Russia and live there and be like, oh my God, they kicked me out. Yeah, I was there illegally. I should have went there to be a citizen, tried to be a citizen. Like, and then I'm not gonna get sympathy from the Russian people. They're gonna say, yeah, get the fuck out. Oh man, this American shit is annoying.
Side, it's a very dislike. Got it? Okay. It's a very dislike.
And what I mean by American shit, I'm talking about like the disillusion of other places, of just being okay with taking it up the ass. Like I feel like this, okay, whatever you say, whatever they want to do, we could do it. Like, no, bro.
Topic politically. So Donald Trump is the first president to actually say, you know what, we're going to put our foot down and actually enforce immigration for once. And what we are seeing is the culmination of decades of kicking the can down the road and not dealing with the problem of mass immigration in the United States. And that is why there's so much backlash. But the reality is they're doing their jobs. These people are here illegally. Some of them have been here for 20, 30 years where they could have definitely did something where they can adjust their status, but they didn't do it. So if you've been here for 20 years and you didn't adjust your status, well, quite frankly, you're a fucking retard. And you probably should get sent back to Mexico where the fuck you came from. That's the reality. So people break the laws, and there's consequences.
Well, so did Harriet Tubman. So did Frederick Douglass. They all broke the law. Aren't they illegal immigrants too? How about them? They ran away. They crossed the border illegally. Shouldn't we have benevolence and humanity towards these people? How do you enforce these laws? I mean, that are just horrific. They're going to be sent back to Afghanistan or Somalia where they're going to be killed. Like, so.
Well, we do have remedies in place like asylum and everything else like that, where, you know, people are able to put them, you know, apply for asylum, temporary protected status, etc. We do have avenues that people can stay here if they do have credible fear. But the problem is that our immigration system has been exploited extensively. People committing marriage fraud, asylum fraud, all types of things. And the issue with immigration is no one really knows about this, and since it's such a complex topic and it's so politically sensitive, no one really wants to discuss it and or enforce it. But this is a problem that's been going on for a very long time, and what you're seeing right now is the process of ripping the Band-Aid off.
But what is the purpose of enforcing a law that is clearly unjust? Like, would you have enforced the fugitive slave laws? Like, how does this work?
Well, obviously, America is a relatively newer country compared to other nations, and, you know, we've been able to progress quite a bit. But I think comparing people that came here illegally that are here illegally.
I think comparing slaves to fucking illegals coming here illegally and staying illegally is completely
to slavery, I don't think it's analogous. So
why?
I see your perspective where you're trying to say, well, things were legal before that were bad. Well, look, people came here illegally. We have a country to protect. We have Americans that we have to care for. Like, people coming here illegally and breaking our laws, that's not what we want. And at the end of the day, if you don't have a border, you don't have a country. So they broke the law, man.
So what if they broke the law? Doesn't the law exist to protect freedom, to protect life? Isn't this what John Locke said, Thomas Jefferson? If they aren't doing anything wrong in the sense that they're not hurting anyone, why can't they stay? You're going to send them back to get their fingers chopped off by the cartels?
Well,
what are you, a slave?
Not everybody's getting their fingers chopped off by the cartels, brother.
But so here's the thing. This law that you're complaining about is precisely why you live in the safe environment where you can say ridiculous things like this, because we've secured the country so much and we've secured society so much where people are able to come in here and give their takes and everything else like that. So I would argue that this law that you're criticizing has created a very comfortable environment for you to bitch as you're doing right now.
Wait. That's completely unfair. How can you say, like, the farmers that are getting deported, the children in the cancer wards that are getting deported, they're a threat to me? These are, like, if you find a jihadist, send him to Guantanamo. But, like, how can you say these people who aren't hurting anyone?
If you find a jihadist, send them to Guantanamo.
See, this is the problem. As he goes back to his dorm with his meal plan and his university and his classes, and he don't got to deal with the goofy ass, what was it, the Somalians acting up there? I'm trying to tell you, niggas just... It just takes 5 seconds. I'm trying to tell you, it takes 5 seconds to do research, guys. If you really care about something, just do some research, please.
Send them back. So how's that any different than the slave catchers who sent them back to slavery?
Well, here's the thing. Here's another thing. So typically they prioritize criminal aliens, right? And another issue is that a lot of these blue states that have sanctuary cities, these people have been arrested before, they've been encountered by law enforcement before, and a lot of these agencies don't do immigration enforcement whatsoever. They don't ask, they have a don't ask, don't tell. So what ICE is doing is they're basically prioritizing going after criminal aliens, and then if they're there during the course of securing an immigration arrest, and there's other people that they encounter that are illegal, those people are probably going to be taken into custody too. That's called what we call like collateral damage.
Why
right?
should they be
So-
deported though? But why should, if they aren't hurting anyone? So I have no problem with arresting.
Keep in mind, they're not getting deported right away. They're going through immigration proceedings.
So they're gonna get have a trial and then they're gonna be sent back to Afghanistan. Like,
Well, not necessarily. If they can demonstrate credible fear or some other type of situation, they might be able to stay. But they do get, when they get arrested, a lot of times they actually get released, given what's called a notice to appear to see an immigration judge, because the immigration court system is its own animal.
Trump just revoked 2,000 permits for the people from Somalia. They're gonna be sent back to do what? To live in hell? To live in?
To be pirates?
So you're fine with sending them back to be slaughtered by ISIS or whoever terrorists live in Somalia?
Well, if they're able to demonstrate credible fear, the thing is that every immigration case in every scenario is completely different. So just because you get arrested by ICE doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be deported by ICE as well. You got to keep in mind that we do have an entire immigration process where they can go through that.
So if you don't want to live in a hellhole, maybe in the slums of Mexico, then you can be deported. But if you, I don't know, might have your head chopped off, then
Bro, whose fault is bro, whose fault is this? If you want to be here, act like you want to be here and go get legal. Like, what the fuck? Like, this nigga keeps crying about, so if you don't want to go back, bro, if you want to stay, do it the right way. Like, I don't know why it's so hard for niggas to understand that.
then we can keep you here. Like, how is that fair?
Again, we cannot save everyone. We have to put our people first. We have to put U.S. citizens first. We have to put our country first. And look, the world's a very cold and evil place, and that's just how it is. And we got to put our country first. And sometimes that means that other people have to come second and third. And this is what we're doing now.
Well, the world is not zero sum, but I'll just say that we could have 1 billion people come to this country, and we'll have the population density of like France. So there's plenty of space here, and they contribute to our economy. And I don't see why. I mean, you used to work for ICE. I know that.
Yep.
So you are the equivalent of the slave catcher who used to deport.
You are the
Harriet Tubman
equivalent
and all her friends back to
of the
slavery
slave
at the same time.
capture.
Would you rather
Shit.
live in like slums of Venezuela where they're organized slavery, which is basically what communism is, or would you rather be a slave in whatever time period? I mean, I'm just saying you guys are morally equivalent to barbarians.
Well, I worked for HSI, so I did more criminal investigations, not necessarily deporting people. But look, like I said before, they break the law. It is what it is, man.
Well, I'm just gonna say
If
that
you're
the
here
law,
illegally, like
the law should reflect our values, and I mean, if you can't, you should be. If it doesn't, you should be amnestied. I mean, Abraham Lincoln pardoned all the slaves, even though they committed a crime. They tried illegally. I mean, I'm just saying, like, how about all these countries? How about the people who saved the Jews from the gas chambers? They committed a crime. Should they be punished?
That's a completely different situation.
I mean, if you're arguing that you
comparing apples to oranges right now.
Illegally and overstaying and/or committing immigration violations to like World War II, like you're just kind of just throwing things out there, man. And it's, I get it. You're a little triggered by ICE finally doing their jobs after decades of not doing their jobs. But the reality is we got laws, dude, and we have a border, and we got to protect our country. We got to put Americans first, and that means that we need to remove people that don't belong here.
How are they hurting?
If you don't have borders, if you don't have,
And I know people don't like hearing this, but like Myron said, then this is what I was saying the other day. Sometimes you gotta live in reality. I know everybody wants it to be peaches and cream and kumbaya and hold hands and sing along the campfire, but not everything is like that. Okay, so like you said, if you're American, sometimes we just gotta put America first. So that means other niggas gotta be second and third. So it's just how it is, guys. If you like the comfort of your home, this is how it is. If you don't like, but that's the thing, guys. If you don't like it, you don't have to stay. Like you can literally go anywhere you want to. I swear.
How about all the
strong
people who contribute?
national identity, then you don't have a country.
Fine, I didn't realize we just had to say, yes, sir, we have to appeal to the laws. Like, if the laws are unjust, we should change the laws or grant them amnesty. This has been how it is, and I didn't realize we were just supposed to bow down and obey every single law if it's wrong.
Well,
I mean,
the laws that we have created the secure environment for you to be here.
No,
You're
they
gonna
haven't.
yes, they have.
Deporting.
You're able to talk right now about this.
Rating
Like-
cancer wards does not help me have free speech. How does that even work?
No, what I'm saying is you're complaining about the very system that's allowed you the privilege.
I'm
right,
not
to be
complaining
able
about
to
the
speak
First
the way that you are.
Amendment. I'm complaining about the
But I'm
fact.
saying this is a great country, and you're saying like, oh, this is so evil that they're deporting people. Dude, we're a nation of laws. Now, just because you don't like the law or it pisses you off from an emotional perspective, doesn't necessarily
Should
mean
we
that it's not
enforce every
the
law? I mean, should laws that are bad be enforced? I mean, do you justify enforcing
Yeah,
the
mass
fugitive-
immigration does
Okay.
create problems.
Would you have
Mass
enforced the
immigration creates
fugitive
problems.
slave clause? That's my question.
What was that?
Would you have enforced the fugitive slaves clause?
Okay, slavery is not the same as people coming here illegally.
Well, if you're
At all.
going to send them back to
If anything,
Venezuela, where they're going to be
it's the
gang
complete
raped,
opposite. So where they're going to be what?
where they're going to be like enslaved. You know, Venezuela has a modern system of slavery, and Donald Trump sending them all back there. Same in
Everybody.
Afghanistan.
So do
Okay,
Africa.
fine.
Next.
Fine.
This guy's just throwing anything, trying to get it to stick.
Hi, I have a few questions for you. I'm
Yeah.
a reporter with the Michigan Daily, so it's all right if I ask you just a few questions.
Yeah. Can we just try to stay on topic though?
Yeah, I will.
If we can stay on ICE or the good shooting
Yeah.
or anything like that.
Yeah, and my first question for you is just, what do you like? You said ICE did nothing wrong, so what are your thoughts on the killing of Renee? I believe her name was Renee Nicole Good.
Yeah, I mean, the loss of any life is a horrible situation, but he was completely justified in that shooting. You don't get to commit a felony and try to run over an ICE officer and, just walk away from him a lot of times. I mean, he was 100% justified in what he did.
Okay, do you mind if I ask you a few other questions about
Sure.
things you said in the past? Okay.
So you don't. Okay, so right.
Well-
Just want to say.
Yeah, and most people who've never worked law enforcement or did some type of protection service, they would I feel like most people understand that in that sense because, bro, if an officer tells you to get out the car, you get out the car. The point of where niggas is like, oh, nah, I know my rights, da 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 da. Bro, you fight that in court. You say that stuff in court. He should have a body cam on it. It'll show everything. If he doesn't, then he's definitely taking an L. But it's like you doing extra shit isn't going to help you at all. It's not going to help you. So when a nigga tell you get out the car, you get out the car, bro. If there's multiple niggas and a nigga is standing in front of the car, you don't then back up and then drive forward. Okay? Because that means you're trying to escape. And if you're trying to escape by any means necessary. So if you're trying to escape by any means necessary, even if you tap the officer a little bit, you don't care. That could break his collar. That could break his hip bone. It don't matter as long as you didn't kill him. You're good. You escaped. That's not how life works, guys. And that's not how that shit was going to go down anyway. So I don't know why anybody, again, like Myron said, though, loss of life is always bad. I'm never going to celebrate somebody dying. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. But you got to know what you're putting yourself in.
Yeah. So my position on that for everybody here that's listening, since that's like the trending right now, the shooting in Minnesota with Good was absolutely justified. Now, and if you don't like that or you don't agree with that, hey, the Second Amendment and law enforcement does have a duty, has the right to defend themselves, as well as they don't have a duty to retreat when they're there enforcing the law. But sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, do you believe women deserve equal rights?
Equal rights in what way?
In equal rights under the law, equal protections, equal rights to get jobs, equal rights to access housing, just equal rights under the law in general.
Well, I think feminism has created a lot of problems, and I don't think that men and women are equal. And I think we have completely different roles, and I think feminism in itself has created a lot of the destructive, progressive policies that we have now. The female vote has put in a lot of progressive leaders who have created issues, but that's a broad overview. But go ahead.
Yeah, and then also, I know a few people have already asked you kind of about this stuff, but I was told by like another editor to ask you. You mentioned, yeah, we like.
All I'm gonna say is take that 19th Amendment until further notice. Okay, that's about it. But until further notice, that's what we're gonna take.
Hitler in defending a chat. I was gonna ask you, what do you stand by this comment?
Yeah, I stand by being able to say what you want to say and not being pussified about it. The issue here is that we have a lot of political correctness. We got a lot of people that are soft. We got a lot of people that are scared to say what's on their mind. So when I say, yeah, we like Hitler, that's to defy the norm where, oh my God, you can't say that. And I think that was in response to a tweet from actually David Pakman, because he said some bullshit about, oh, this is so bad, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, we like Hitler. Shut the fuck up. Because we got to protect the First Amendment, dude. We got to protect the First Amendment. And in order for the First Amendment to be protected, you have to be able to push the edges of the First Amendment.
Okay. Do you think Trump is deploying ICE and having them be very aggressive with protesters so that he can? Because he just mentioned, I think, that he was considering declaring Insurrection Act. Thank you. So, do you think he's having ICE be very aggressive with protesters so that he can then declare the Insurrection Act and using it as a pretext to declare the Insurrection Act?
Well, the problem is that the protesters are the ones showing the majority of the aggression, right? If ICE is there to effectuate an arrest, I'll tell you right now, and I'm sure anyone here that works in law enforcement or has worked in law enforcement or understand law enforcement practices, you always try to handle the situation at the lowest level possible with the least escalation. The problem here is that a lot of these people are impeding officers, they're creating issues, they're harboring them illegally, they're doing all types of things to obstruct the agents and the officers from doing their jobs. So they have to kick up their level of force a lot of the times to be able to properly enforce the law. The issue is that we haven't enforced immigration so long that people forget that you being here illegally or ICE have the authority to arrest people that are here illegally without any type of status. So that's why we have all this backlash, is because this is something that we've been kind of delaying and procrastinating on for a very long time.
All right. Thank you for answering my questions.
No worries. What's up?
How's it going, bro? I got a serious question. So,
Go ahead.
So, would you rather gay son or thought daughter?
A gay son or a thought daughter?
He's been asked this before. Unalive. The fuck?
Damn. Yeah, neither, of course. But
Unalive.
One,
You gotta pick one.
the gay son, fuck that, man.
I-
Thought daughter's the worst, bro.
Mm.
That's
Okay.
the worst. Yeah, I'd have to, because at least with my son, I can smack the shit out of him like, hey, man, you're not going to be gay. So, yeah, but thought daughter, she's cooked. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, bro.
Hey, Myron, thanks for coming. I'm a big supporter. So, I guess I'm in agreement. So my biggest questions you could talk about. I talk to people who disagree with the shooting, and I just don't think they understand force versus deadly force and the use of force continuum, where, you know, we do expect police officers to be the aggressors. We do expect police officers to move forward and pursue criminals. So could you speak on, like, why it actually is deadly force when it comes to the vehicle?
Oh, yeah.
Or
so
why a vehicle, or what is a deadly weapon in any context of that kind of situation?
yeah, like,
A vehicle is definitely deadly force. Bro, that shit can kill you. And that shit is fucking... What? You have to explain deadly force of a vehicle to motherfuckers? That's crazy.
like, and you know, and people need to understand, like, okay, so number one, like in the state of Minnesota, right, you have a duty to retreat. That doesn't apply to law enforcement because by the nature of their job, a lot of the times, they have to be the ones to increase, like you said, with the use of force continuum. Because if I show up, right, and the courier says, hey, man, I ain't going to jail, and puts up his fist, like, it would be stupid for me to square up with him. I'll pull out my taser. He pulls out a knife, I pull out my gun. So when it comes to law enforcement, you typically have to go one level above the perpetrator to be able to subdue them. Now, when it comes to a vehicle, that is absolutely a deadly weapon. And the ICE agent actually did get internal bleeding, as much as people were saying, like, oh, yeah, he hurt his internal organs. You know, she just came at him at like 5 miles per hour. People don't realize that you can, even if a car that size hitting you, like, that can cause some serious damage. And when it comes to imminent death or serious bodily injury, you have the authorization, you know, to utilize deadly force and stop the threat. So, and people just don't understand that. So it is what it is, but you can't be committing felonies. They give you lawful orders, and then you run a car at them. A vehicle is absolutely considered a deadly weapon. Many cops get hit by cars and die. There was actually a Baltimore police officer, a female. That's a whole other situation. But she got ran over, and she died from the same exact situation. And the guy didn't even drive that fast. So yeah, this is what law enforcement deals with all the time.
Yeah, I just don't think people see that it is deadly force, a deadly weapon. I mean, from a firearm all the way down. To a
Absolutely, a
kitchen
car's a
knife.
deadly weapon. You know, and I think people that don't see that are retarded. But you know, it is what it is.
Thanks, Myron. Big supporter.
No worries. Thank you.
Okay.
And guys, let's try to focus on disagreements or haters or anything else like that. So yeah. What's up, man?
Okay. Actual question.
Yep.
Would you rather get shot in the head or get freaky with your dad?
Shot in the head.
Okay. That's all I need to know. Thank you so
shot in
much.
the head.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Kind
Somebody revoke this nigga pass. Tired of this nigga come up asking dumbass shit.
of going back to the other conversation with the shooting being justified. I feel like I'm specifically kind of 50-50 in it. So I've been in law enforcement for 4 years, and I do agree that a vehicle is like something that could cause a death. But in some way, like when you have a situation, you want to take kind of down the level of like how stressful it is.
And this is why we don't need women in law enforcement. Because bitch would have got ran over and died. All right?
Oh, sorry. I'm short. Okay, so kind of saying that wouldn't adjustable solution would be like shoot the tire so that way she doesn't run away, because she didn't, other than being in the vehicle, it's not a deadly force.
So shooting out tires is very maverick, and not many agencies authorize that. And I think actually for ICE, you can't shoot the tires out. So if you are gonna, shoot at a car, it's got to pretty much be only to defend yourself from the kind of the perspective that the ICE officer did. So, like, are you like actual sworn law enforcement or?
I'm not sworn.
Okay, so you're not sworn. So there's not many law enforcement agencies that like authorize shooting out tires. Like typically, really reckless state police agencies only authorize that. So that's not going to be a thing. And I see what you're saying. Like, hey, look, they could have maybe dealt with it at a lower level, but you got to remember that they have to meet the perpetrator where the perpetrator's at. Right? It's very difficult to de-escalate things, especially in that rapid time frame. We're talking about a matter of seconds.
And that's why it's like, it's easy to say what you could have did in hindsight. It's easy to say what they could have done in hindsight. It's easy to say, oh yeah, why they didn't do this? It's easy to say that in hindsight. But nigga has milliseconds to think if this bitch is gonna run him over or not, or what to do. So he has to act on how quick he has to be. So like I said, it's easy to say, well, he could have did this.
Get out the car.
Well, why didn't this bitch do that? Why didn't she just get out the car? He could have. Why didn't she just get out the car? That's what annoys me.
Doesn't want to comply. She backs up the car. He pulls out his gun. She still drives towards him anyway. Like, these are all, escalatory behaviors that would lead a reasonable person to be like, oh, wow. And he's trying to get out the way as he's shooting. That's another thing people say, oh, well, bro, you should just got out the way. He tried, and he got hit.
Officer who should not have been working, who, had gotten dragged 10 months ago.
Why is this woman talking and not in the kitchen? What's going on here? What the hell is going on?
That was a woman? Jesus Christ. I thought that was a chick with
she's just standing by the snowbank, and I'm
dude
like,
with
I don't see a
tits.
stove there. Why is she talking? What's going on? Like, what's... Okay, yeah, just women being women, right? But anyway, yeah, but to finish what I was saying here, they had to meet her where she was at, unfortunately.
I agree with that, and like obviously I do see it as somewhat reasonable.
Yeah, you're welcome to come to the thing after if you want. No, you're fine. Sorry, continue on.
I do see that being reasonable. It is like a split-second decision, but I think saying that like 100% justifiable, maybe not, but like it is in some way.
I see your perspective. The reality is legally, it's 100% justified. Now, if you want to have a moral discussion, that's different. That's very subjective. But I would say, keep in mind, when it comes to use of force in America, the law enforcement officer is going to be judged on, did he act in a reasonable manner given all the facts and circumstances that he was in at the time that the use of force happened. And I think universally, most people would agree, most attorneys, so law enforcement, et cetera, training, that was a good shoot, unfortunately. I wish it didn't happen, but given the facts and circumstances, he's absolutely justified.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. Okay. We go ahead. Did you have a disagreement too?
Yeah.
Okay, disagreement, cool. And then we'll get...
All right. So I disagree that she was intentionally driving into the officer, but that's not what I'm going to discuss right now. I have a question for you.
Oh, you're saying you don't think she intentionally was trying to drive?
Yeah, but I don't want to talk.
But that's kind of irrelevant. But that's fine.
I know. I'm talking.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a
Yeah.
different question. All right. Did he?
Because I want everybody to know that's listening, like, her intention when she drove towards him isn't relevant to him using force.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how he interpreted it. But go ahead.
All right. Did the officer shoot at Renee from the front or from the side of her car?
Both.
He shot through the side window, though. That was where the fatal shot came from.
Yeah.
Right. So that means that she was not running over him at the time that he shot the lethal shot.
So we're talking a matter of milliseconds here. So as she's coming at him and he's moving out the way, law enforcement is trained to stop the threat, and that includes up to deadly force. So as he's moving out the way and shooting, we're talking about a rapidly evolving event, right? So once you get into that mode, you're shooting, and this is precisely why 2020 hindsight is never taken into account when law enforcement officers or use of force in general is typically applied.
All right, yeah, but that's
Because it's easy to Monday morning quarterback and say, oh, well, bro, technically, let's put the protractor over here. If you move 2 degrees this way, you would have been fine. Why'd you shoot from the side? They're trained to stop the threat.
Also, they're trained to use lethal force as an absolute last resort. The fact that he was able to get to the side of the car into safety shows that he was able to survive the car without fatally shooting Renee. So shooting her, the imminent threat was gone. He no longer has the right to use lethal force in that situation because there is no imminent threat anymore. He was able to get to the side of the car.
Well, keep in mind that she still hit him. He still got injured. He didn't know who was behind him. He was there with other people.
We also don't know if she's coming back to finish off the job. All right? So you niggas is just bystanders, civilians. This is what I say at best. These are civilians who just look at it from the inside and say, wait, why didn't he do... but would let off a fucking whole clip, whole magazine if they had to.
People. So when law enforcement shoots to stop the threat, it's not just for their for them immediately. It's also for other law enforcement and other civilians as well. Because if you're telling someone, get out the car, they back up, you pull out your gun, and then they drive towards you, how are you going to interpret that? Okay, this person clearly doesn't care. They're reckless. I'm shooting to stop this threat, not just as a threat for me, but a threat for my colleagues and other people and other civilians that are in the area. That's how they apply force.
That's kind of ridiculous. There were no
That's the
law
law.
enforcement officers in the path of Renee. She was driving straight forward.
That's the law.
What's the law? The law is that lethal force
Stop the
is
threat.
Lethal force is the last threat. He can stop the threat some other way. They can start a police chase, but killing her is not an option there.
Yeah, let's start a police chase because that's not gonna.
He absolutely did.
How? He jumped to the side. He survived.
He got hit in the process. Also, here's another thing. That guy got dragged like 6 months earlier by someone.
That's what I'm going on to. So
Yeah.
I'll talk about that with you after he's
Yeah. So that actually strengthens my argument because.
it weakens it.
Oh, really? It weakens it?
Yeah, because you should not have a shell-shocked. I'm sorry for taking you away from the mic.
Yeah. Well, let's finish him first, and then go ahead. You keep going.
All right.
Was-
My main point overall is that it is a law in all law enforcement operations that when the imminent threat is gone, which it was because he jumped to the side of the car and he was no longer getting ran over whatsoever, lethal force is simply not an option.
Again, we're talking a matter of milliseconds here. He's moving out the way as he's shooting, okay? So this is all happening rapidly. It can't be like, okay, I'm out the way. I think not going to pull the trigger no more. No, dude, we're talking about literally milliseconds here. And again,
it's the fact
he's
that
trained.
he got out of the
He's
way.
trained. But here's the thing.
It's the fact that he was able
But-
to get out of the way that shows that he was not an
But he
imminent
got
threat.
hit in the process. He got hit in the process, and his job is to stop the threat.
That you're ignoring the fact that he's out of the way. Like, I
Okay.
don't understand why you're
When she
ignoring
drove
that.
at him and
Was
he got
out of the way
let me
or
ask you
not?
this.
Was
Let
he
me
out
ask
of
you
the way?
this.
No,
Let's
you
let me
answer
keep
me.
this
Was he
simple.
out of the way or not?
Buddy.
What?
Let's go through this simply because you got to look at this objectively. Look at this through your feelings.
Objectively.
Yes, objectively.
Okay,
So he
wait,
gets
wait,
hit.
wait, you won't answer to me if he got out of the way or not. But
He got
I'm,
out the
I'm,
way.
I'm the
He
one
got
using
out the way.
feelings?
But
Okay,
was she a threat coming
so
at
he
him?
wasn't in a okay,
Was
he was
she?
out of the way.
Was
the
she?
car hitting him?
Was he?
No, you
What-
can't just ignore that. You
No.
can't just ignore that fact.
I'm asking you a question.
Okay, what's your question?
Was she a threat when she drove at him with the car?
Yes.
Okay, and he ended the threat. Done.
Did he shoot her when he was
It was a
or did
threat.
he shoot
As
her
soon as
when
she
he was on the
came,
side of her, though?
as soon as she came at him, she became a threat, and at that point, he has every right to end the threat.
It's a last resort. So if he was able to get out of the threat without killing her, it's no longer an imminent threat.
No, because it's a threat not just to him, but other people as well.
What other people?
He was there with several of his colleagues.
And were any of them?
And then
being,
there's also
were
civilians.
Any, were
Who
any
knows?
of them being ran over?
Again, like I said, as soon as she drove at him,
Okay, by
she
that
became
logic,
a threat, and he stopped the threat. That's it.
By that logic, it's like if I see someone on the street with fellow law enforcement officers, it's a potential threat to other people. So therefore, I have the right to detain him or something. Like, what does that even mean?
She was an imminent threat because she came at him,
But
and he
she
got
wasn't
hit in
an
the
imminent
process.
threat anymore. When imminent means at the time. If he was able to get to the side, then that means she wasn't an imminent threat to him anymore.
She literally was because he got hit. Dude, again, this is why they're trained to stop the
Nigga just
threats.
crying
They're
right
also
now.
trained to use lethal force.
That
as a
she
last
became
resort.
a threat,
They're also
and
trained
he
to
used
use
lethal force
as
to
a last
subdue the
resort.
threat, and that's what happened.
Subdue what threat? He got to the side of her.
Again, you're going off of 2020 hindsight. We go off of what was going in through his mind at the time. Lawful commands are done. Wife is saying, just drive. She backs up, drives towards him. He's obviously surprised. He gets out the way as he's shooting at her to stop the threat. Legally justified, my friend.
Wait,
now,
so
whether
you're
you interpret it as a threat or not from a Monday morning quarterback perspective, quite frankly, is irrelevant. He's justified in this shooting because he was there at the time and actually was dealing with the threat. And that's how he dealt with it. And that's why he's legally justified.
Okay.
Like, you might not like it, you might not agree with it, but the reality is that he was justified, which is why they're not prosecuting him.
Dude, the reality is that he knew he survived when he jumped to the side of it, right? He should have just stopped right there. He's a trained officer. He's able to not pull the trigger at that point. He could have jumped to the side, realized, okay, the car's not coming at me anymore. It's no
He
longer
could
an
have.
imminent threat.
He also could have swung from the top rope and jumped down like John Cena. Like, nigga, we could have did a whole bunch of what could haves, my nigga. Like he said, we could Monday quarterback this shit all day, bro. It's about what happened in the time of what happened. Okay? Bitch would have got out the car, we wouldn't be talking about the motherfucker. She'd be straight. She might have even got a little roughed up. She would have been out today. Because it would have happened Friday? Maybe Friday. Say it happened Friday. She would have got stuck for the weekend. She would have been out today. She wanted to drive at the ICE agent. Lord Jesus.
I no longer have the right to shoot and kill her.
Yeah, you just don't. I don't think you understand tactics, which is fine.
I don't think you understand like law enforcement policy.
Yeah, you definitely don't.
Oh, I definitely
you
don't.
definitely don't.
Yeah.
You never worked the law enforcement.
And my aunt was saying the same thing. She was like, they're killing our American citizens. You talking about the one that tried to drive the guy over, to run the guy over? Oh, man. I'm telling you, this is crazy.
When I did, I understand how it goes. And when someone's coming at you with a car, it's easy to sit here and be like, just get out the way, dude. Bro, if someone's coming at you like that, like trying to end your life,
I understand
and you're
that, but
interpreting
he
it that
did
way,
get out of
you're
the
going
way.
to empty
The
that
difference
mag.
is that he did
You're
get
gonna
out of the
empty
way.
that mag.
He did get out.
Barely.
Okay.
Barely.
Okay.
So
I'm not
someone
saying,
comes at you with a knife, right?
Yeah.
And they nick you with it, and they get you, like they try to go for your neck, but they get you in the chest.
Yeah.
Are you gonna sit there and be like, well, they're not having a threat anymore, bro?
That's not comparable.
you know?
That's not comparable at all because a person with a knife can easily just turn around and stab you again.
Yeah, but again,
Person with a car can just turn around and try to run you over again. The fuck? Is he not using logic?
She hit him with the car, and the car's a deadly
but
weapon.
Can you acknowledge that comparison was absolutely stupid?
No, they're both deadly weapons. Whether it's a car or a knife, it's a deadly weapon.
But the difference is a knife attack can happen multiple
She's
times.
showing clear disregard for him, and who else might she run over in the process?
Yeah,
Again,
but
remember
do
they
you
had
not see how a knife is
they had it
completely
surrounded. They had the vehicle. Law enforcement was all around it. So if she clearly showed the disregard of backing up and then driving into him, as he has his gun there and he has and he's giving her lawful commands alongside the other guy, a reasonable person can interpret, hey, this person is not going to stop and they're going to keep doing this, so I need to end the threat not just for myself but for my colleagues and for other civilians because this individual clearly is being reckless. And that's what he's going to be judged on.
At a slow speed. It wasn't like she was starting to go
at a slow speed. Shorty pulled off.
Even though she was going at a slow speed as you claim, he still got internal damage from getting hit.
She was going at a slow speed. She ran into the pole, and you could hear her smack the pole.
He got a bruise.
No, he got organ damage with his internals.
Internal bleeding is another word for a bruise.
Okay, all right. Let's go to her.
All right.
Let's go to her. Like, we're not gonna agree on that.
Take
like,
too much of your time.
I suggest.
Is
you
this
know
a-
what? You should do some tactical training and let them put you in scenarios because they've actually done this with civilians. They put them in a tactical situation, and every single time the civilians just pull the trigger when there's not a deadly threat. And it's actually hilarious to see people pull the trigger so quickly. Then they want law enforcement to be like, "No, bro, just don't pull the trigger. Get out the way." But go ahead.
Okay, so I'm not going to waste too much of your time. First, thanks for gendering me properly. This does not look like a stove, so I'm not going to waste much of your time, so I can
You
get
said
back to
you said
one.
what? Gendering properly?
Yes, because these gentlemen asked, or I could hear them talking like, "Oh, is that a tranny?" I'd
Oh.
be happy to say I was born intersex.
Ah, I knew it. I was like, women. This sound like a fucking it. This it is fucking this deep. This fucking deep voice ass bitch, yeah, like try so hard. Them niggas be trying so hard, like we can hear it. It's like we can hear you trying, bro. We hear that fake ass shit in the back. We see that shit. I was like,
And
Wait,
it's
what?
kind of pathetic.
Born
That has-
intersex?
Yes. That has nothing to do with this. I'm just addressing this for the record in front of everyone.
born
How
intersex?
pathetic that is.
I
while
think
I'm
there's
waiting
only
to ask
two
you questions.
genders. I don't think intersex is a thing, but that's fine.
Okay, well, look at an actual, maybe graduate college level biology textbook, and you'll realize beyond high school biology.
Were you born with a dick?
Was I born with ovary parts? Yes.
Okay, so you're born with a dick. Okay, got it.
Okay, yes, but that's neither here nor there, and absolutely pathetic. Only thing I want
Two
to
genders.
address.
Absolutely pathetic. Oh man, these niggas are delusional. Bro came out with the this gotta be a wig, right, guys? There's no way this is real. This has gotta be a wig. Bro came out with the wig mad as hell.
Is that you had an officer who was shell-shocked, pretty much, several months before the shooting, who perhaps should not have been on the force because any other officer who had not had that experience several months prior.
You can't even really like argue with these guys because it's like, bro, if you believe you could be a woman, what the fuck else? What could we really talk about?
Would not have pulled the trigger in that instance, I do not believe.
Well, okay, so it's interesting that you bring that up. Him being dragged 6 months prior actually lends strength.
No, it does
to
not,
the shooting. Yeah, it
because
does. See,
no,
of course.
because it increases your threshold, or rather lowers it for what you actually think is a threat. That's why you have hypervigilance in PTSD victims.
Okay.
So that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave. Go back to a kitchen.
Why do they always do this? Every time.
He said, "Go back to a kitchen." No, nigga, get back. Nigga, go get a job. You fucking maggot. Go get a job, nigga. Get out the girl's bathroom. The fuck, grown ass man think he a girl. You niggas make me sick.
These trannies, like they'll give their point and then they'll just walk away. It's like we don't want to debate.
It's
like,
worse than fucking women. At least the women will fucking argue with you. These bitch ass niggas just, yeah, fuck you, and run away like real bitches. Like Jesus Christ. All right, chat. That was a good 36 minutes of Myron cooking these dumbass motherfuckers. I don't know why niggas be thinking like, bro, if an officer tells you to do something, if you don't think he's right in his way, do it. You're gonna get a check. His camera's on. You're going to get handling things in court is going to be way easier than trying to fight the nigga and potentially losing your life. So yeah, I don't know what she was thinking when she drove the car at bro, but it wasn't nothing smart. It wasn't nothing smart at all. But yeah, let's see what Sneako, Nick, and Nick have to say about this Venezuela. Sneako doesn't like it. Nick likes it, and we got Clavicular here as well. See how we do. See what these boys talking about.
Yeah, right.
Perfect.
We should flick up, huh?
Probably. Be down.
On the balcony.
Nigga said we should flick up.
Yeah.
Taking pictures. Imagine.
Screenshot now. I want to tweet out the stream. Let everybody know. Make sure
I don't think I've ever told one of my niggas, you think we should flick up? No roast. But I don't think I've ever told a nigga, You think we should take some pictures?
Nick, have you done another
What
Minecraft
the fuck?
server? I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, it was called, what was it called? Groiper World? Groiper.world.
Alright, Cloud, ready? You got a mug. I'm going to take a screenshot of the OBS. 1, 2. Boom.
Is that Jester?
No, it's just, that's a W.
It's an autistic.
I like how it's like, Mog.
He locked in, and that's all I had to say. He activated.
I don't know what else to do.
He activated.
W pose.
You kind of put me on the spot there.
That was like the Kylo Ren.
Cloud was the teacher.
Log it.
Music, and I actually do like dance music. I do like club music, so that's fun. What I don't like is how claustrophobic it is. I don't like how many people there are and you can't really move.
Can't fucking dance.
Yeah, exactly. Can't get lit like that.
Crazy super chat from him.
Mike.
Like clown.
It's like.
Exactly. She was giving me some positive tweets, so I think I'll probably do it. She's going on Fresh and Fit tomorrow. I don't know how that's gonna work if they're gonna bring the girl still.
Oh yeah. I don't know.
We had made so many plans yesterday, and I didn't remember what they were. It was hard to keep track of everything.
Yeah, I think everyone was just a little bit in the moment, so we shoot for 14 hours. You know, there's no possible chance to beat that today.
So I should tell Myron to come.
Yeah, I just told him. He said he is. Let's do it at 10. We're pro.
They got their shoes
I was
up.
right about all the backlash. I said it yesterday on stream during the TTS, during the grape Sneako session. That was brutal, by the way. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
But I said the ADL was gonna attack. I said the club was gonna apologize. It's like pretty predictable stuff, but it's just a song, you know. It's just.
Yeah, we're just at the club, bro.
Just hanging at the club, man.
People making shit bigger than it is. It's outrageous to me.
Thanks for the 20.
She just hates Muslims a lot.
Just going out.
Niggas going hard as fuck.
Yes, sir.
Society can't handle it.
I don't really think there's gonna be any long term.
Nah, I don't think so.
No one gives a fuck.
Laura Loomer was crashing out about it.
I saw her tweet.
She's so like snarky and sarcastic. She's like, of course, a random guy in Argentina said the Israelis started the fires. There's.
What else do we got? Can you pull up my chat too?
Yeah.
Actually, I can pull it up on my phone.
No, I'll have it open here.
I'm a little far back.
Nick finds much respect, Nick. I know you've seen the Argentina fires well.
Yeah, they think the IDF did that.
What was the reason? Why do they hate Argentina?
Like some random guy in Argentina said the Israelis started the fires. There's like no evidence for that.
Oh.
Because I'm on my show and I get like 5 super chats. Did you hear the Israelis started the Patagonia wildfires?
I saw that tweet. I'm
No,
like, this doesn't seem like
I
it makes
looked
any
into
sense.
it. It's like one guy claimed that with no evidence. People just, honestly, it really jumped the shark. Because, and I've been saying it, it's like, you want to blame them for starting the war in Iraq. Okay, makes total sense. Now it's like, oh, a wildfire happened somewhere in the world. Oh, it's them. They did it. Like, where's the evidence?
Yeah, what would be the reason? Why would they need a fire in Argentina?
Because, you know...
Isn't the president already a Zionist?
Yeah, but when the original Zionist movement got started, there were all kinds of plans about where they wanted to set up. And one of those places was Argentina. So they're saying that the Israelis are burning down the forests so that they can make a new Israel in southern Argentina, because in the late 19th century, that was one of the plans. It's like, if you could show me evidence that someone started the fire, okay, but that's kind of a reach. And you're right, they already got the guy. Javier Milei is already their guy.
They have the dude, so. Yeah, I think it's, people are quick to blame everything. Oh, I wanted to react to this with you. I thought this was funny. We're cooked, bro. I'm learning something new about the Red Bull. Do you agree?
I'm about ready. The internet's not going to know. I think you do
5
it right
is ambitious. That's good.
Hide the wives, keep it secret. I'm not fucking bimbo. Fly to Poland or somewhere in Mexico. I'm just fucking have babies. and give them like 200 pesos and just fucking just I visit didn't like now and Poland again. too much. I stayed in Warsaw. Can't, like, the language barrier is too weird. I want someone who speaks American English.
You talk to girls?
Yeah, when are you gonna have a conversation?
We're talking about babies.
Oh, Sneako wants to have a conversation.
This nigga's stupid.
So now it's
This
gay to
nigga's
talk to
stupid.
girls. I can't talk to my wife.
This nigga's stupid, bro.
We're cooked, bro. I'm learning something new about the Red Bull. Do you agree? You don't want to? You want a non-English speaking?
I've said that on my show.
No
yeah,
conversations.
I've said that's actually ideal if they don't speak English. I don't want to fucking talk to her.
Mm.
You're Muslim. Why do you want to talk to him?
I have said that too before. I have said that I didn't want to communicate with her, but maybe
This nigga be getting so emotional by himself. Maybe I just want to just have an intellectual conversation with her. It's like,
I'm old-fashioned. Maybe that's
stop being a baby, bro.
That's the one good thing about Islam is you get to dress her like
There's
a
a lot
Tusken
of there's
Raider.
many good things.
Okay, well that's one of the best things. You can put her in all black and tell her to shut the fuck up.
Well, so you want your kids to kind of speak the same, speak the same language, ideally.
They can speak 2 languages.
No, that's true.
Like Baron Trump.
What does he speak? He speaks Russian?
He speaks Slovenian.
Slovenian?
I like my suitcase.
Such
Remember?
a useless language. No, I don't remember that.
That's because the mom basically raised him. Melania raised him.
Thanks for the 50. Sneako, I love how Klav respects Islam. Just know we Muslims love you guys, W Collab boys. I don't watch streams at all, lol, W. Oh, dope. You got the brown clowns are siding with you, man. W brown clowns.
W.
Miami Nick is my new favorite.
Yeah, you gotta set the tone.
With that, you're
the difference. And now what the United States is doing is we're gonna send controlled by just pluck out the top guy.
I just think that it's not as bad instead of having to do the fake smile bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gotta set the tone.
Okay, Rabbi Shmuley.
Keep them in line.
It's like a MAGA in the regard that people give you like a $5 donation and you're like, oh, you're just such a fucking faggot, man. Kill yourself.
Oh, wow, we're on YouTube, bro.
Oh, sorry.
I know, this fucking
My
collab.
That's fine.
Collab, this nigga ace.
Yeah, see, like my whole time, I don't know about you guys, it's just like I'm opening up Twitter and then every single, you would think that this was like the community, it's just every single post.
He was trying to spark
He demand to be taken seriously.
What the fuck? He pulled me into it, I don't know.
I missed that.
Yeah, you're on my side with that. You're anti-regime change. Let's go.
You're anti?
Yeah.
Damn. Why?
I just think that it's a slippery slope with that. Now you're going to have bases set up soon. It's not like a 5-hour cool operation. Next, it's okay, now we're going to have a military base. And then the trillions, follow. And
Iraq 2.0.
Yeah, literally.
Bro, it so isn't.
How do you know that, though?
Well, here's the difference. And here's the only reason I support it. Because I've said the same thing for 7 years. What happened in Venezuela the other week isn't really a regime change.
Yeah.
A regime change is when you actually remove all the civilian and military structure of the government. Because what characterizes the regime it's not just the head of state, but it's all the people that are loyal to him and believe in his ideology. They're like regime supporters. All we did was pluck out the top guy. But his vice president just moved right up and filled his place. Like, she is a Maduro loyalist. She got sidelined by Chavez, the previous president. When Maduro came to power, he brought her up. So the interior minister, defense minister remain. They control the security infrastructure. So you effectively still have the same regime. You just now have like a puppet leader that's being controlled by the United States. And she came to America the other week. I think she came, or maybe I think we sent John Ratcliffe from the CIA down there. They were talking about her coming. And she said, we're going to change the laws and open it up for foreign investment for the oil. And now what the United States is doing is we're going to send contractors, mercenaries. Private military corporation will go down there, secure the oil fields. Trump's trying to get investment down there. And so we kind of have the best of all worlds, where it's like we realigned Venezuela away from China and Russia and towards the United States, but we did it without actually having to have a true regime change, which, you're right, that is what happened in Iraq, and it's super messy because, you know, when you change the regime, you got to hunt down all the loyalists and either kill them, jail them, or re-educate them and have like a Truth and Reconciliation Commission.
Which doesn't really work.
It can work, but it's just really, it's so many complications. What happened in Iraq is you had this remnant that kept fighting. And the whole country basically then descended into a civil war. There was no government, so it was total anarchy. The remnant of the regime was fighting. You had other people try to contest it and claim power. It turned into a civil war between Shiites and Sunnis. That's what we don't want to happen. So that's why Trump left the regime intact. I fucking totally support it. And it's not that there's no risks, but I think they could be mitigated. I think it's worth it. So I'm totally in favor of it. And it's our right. It's our right.
It's all right.
I think that the U.S. now loses some of the moral backing. Ever since, no, but this is truth. Ever since World War II, the U.S., all the foreign interventions has been justified based off of communism is evil. We need to spread democracy. We need to liberate. This is the first time that I've seen in my lifetime where it wasn't weapons of mass destruction or anything. Essentially, they're just like, yeah, we just want the oil.
Yes.
It's not about the cocaine. It's not about communism. It's like, just give me the oil.
I love
so
it.
now America sacrifices that sort of world police, this moral compass, which I think is a dangerous, and I agree with Klav, I think that's a slippery slope.
I think that's all bullshit and always has been. Well,
I was about to say we've never really had a moral compass. We've always fucked niggas over. You niggas just don't want to look at reality and look at history. If we look at history, we've never really had a moral compass. We've always been the bad guys. So him acting like we've had a moral compass is kind of like we've never really had a moral compass.
Moral justification?
Yes.
Well, it is.
That's
Weapons of mass destruction was bullshit, but the fact that now they don't even seem to care about convincing themselves of that, that's the problem. Where now anything goes, and then when you submit to might is right, I think we should operate on some sort, even if it is a lie and most people understand it's bullshit and it gets revealed, you should live in a country where there's some sort of moral consistency.
I disagree. I think that when it comes to international affairs in particular, there is one imperative, one commandment, and that is to ensure the survival of your state. So if you're President Trump, your job is not to promote democracy. Your job is not to protect the rules-based order, enforce the rules. Your job is to ensure the survival of the U.S. state. And under that, anything is justified. We are in a strategic competition with China. Venezuela represents a foothold. There are 37 ports that they have some financial interest in the Caribbean and Latin America. That is a threat. Greenland, being controlled by Denmark, they can't defend it. That is a threat. And so as long as the United States is protecting our interest, which is fundamentally our survival, that's the only moral commandment. And I'll say one other thing about the Monroe Doctrine. It's interesting. When the Monroe Doctrine, it's written by John Quincy Adams, promulgated by President Monroe in 1823, he says in the actual statement, well, we don't want any of these colonial empires in the Western Hemisphere because we want them to be free republics. And there's like a much more moral and ideological tenor there. They're saying like, we, as a newly formed republic, we want to have free independent republics in Latin America. What's interesting is at the time, we have no navy. We have no navy, we have no military, we can't enforce that. We can't keep Spain, France, England out of the Western Hemisphere. In other words, when we're powerless, we say, hey, hands off the new world, everyone should be free. 70 years later, when the Secretary of State only under Grover Cleveland interprets the Monroe Doctrine, he says, our word is the law. He says, we are the sovereign on this side of the world. Our fiat is law. Why does it change? Because in 1895, we have power. We have we have a navy. We have the big guns. And that's the variable. When you have no power, you say, hey, if you use power, you're an evil empire. When we have power, we say our word is the fucking law. What we say goes. That's just how the world works.
Okay, two things. One, have we seen any benefits from Venezuela regime change so far?
Yes.
Like what? The 1.8 billion?
1.8 that it costs to do this?
No, that's how much we got from the oil so far. That was the
from
figure.
the tankers that we've seized?
Yeah, that's what Trump was flexing on Truth Social. 1.8 billion.
It's not just that. It's that we control that oil supply. So Venezuela has the world's largest reserves, trillion in reserves. We could, if we wanted to, deprive China of that oil, and we have because we blockaded their oil. So we're depriving China of the oil. We're depriving Cuba of the oil. We have taken it. It's, what is it? Southern Spear, I think, is the operation. We're taking all these oil tankers. And Delcy Rodriguez said we're going to open up the country to investment for the oil. And so if we could get that up to 1.5 million
But we haven't
barrels,
seen the benefits yet. I mean, it's going to take, it's a process.
It's going to take years.
It's going to take years, and it's also going to be expensive to make sure to sell all this. It's going to take troops. It's going to take
private contractors.
You don't think we're going to have to station troops in there to guard the oil, to
No.
make sure that there's not going to be a rogue military group that fights back?
No, we only need, because we have the cooperation of the government. So we'll have private
So far.
contractors. Yeah, you're right. It's a delicate situation, and that's the question is, how do you keep this up for a long time? But for now, so far so good. She's compliant with the United States.
And I understand you saying that this is in a battle between China. Don't you think it's also in a battle with Iran?
Less so. Significantly less so.
Okay. So what do you think that Netanyahu meeting with Hegseth and Rubio was about a week before? You don't think that he was trying to get them to pull the trigger? He was very excited. Netanyahu tweeted about how excited he was about this oil.
Well, he came to Mar-a-Lago in the last week of December to push for three things in particular. It's really one thing. He wants to escalate on every front in the Middle East. He wants a green light to call off the peace and go to war in Gaza again because they're not implementing the agreement. He wants to escalate in Lebanon because the Lebanese government in Beirut won't disarm them. He wants to go to war with Hezbollah. And he wants the United States to support or give the green light to bomb Iran's missiles. And Trump basically gave him that. Trump came out in the statement and said, if Iran rebuilds the nukes, bomb them. And if they try to rebuild the missiles, we'll seriously consider bombing them. Now, Venezuela doesn't really threaten Israel. They do partner with Iran to build like drones, and Iran gives them drones, and they build drones there. But Venezuela doesn't really threaten Israel. Venezuela threatens the United States.
They have connections. Netanyahu's been public that they have connections to Hezbollah.
They do, yeah.
So doesn't that pose a threat?
No, because, Israel's principally concerned with, when they have these 8 fronts or 7 fronts tangibly that they're fighting on, it's all in the Middle East. They got to worry about, really, first and foremost, Iran. Russia supports Iran. China supports Iran. Venezuela's not like a major global player at all. So that's overstated by like Elliot Abrams. Said that in the New York Times with Ross Douthat. He goes, oh yeah, like they're working with Hezbollah. That's vastly overstated. Netanyahu's happy about it because Venezuela's sympathetic to Palestine, but they're not like a big threat for Israel. They're really a concern for us in our struggle with China in the Caribbean, Central, and South America.
It also surprised me because you've been so critical of Trump's second term, and this is the first thing that now you're very excited about this. If we understand that he's been completely controlled by Israel this time around, then why is this one separate? Why is this issue now America first and not Israel first?
Because this is our hemisphere.
I like the way Sneako is pounding on these questions because everybody wants to know. And these are good ass questions. Like, these are great questions. And I love the way Nick is answering them. So let's keep it going.
And I said it on my show. People go, "Oh, you sound different." I for basically my entire career have said we should fight the New Monroe Doctrine.
Yeah, since 2019. You've said this.
And it's simple. If it's in the Western Hemisphere on this side of the map, I support it. If it's in the Eastern Hemisphere on this side of the map, I don't. And the difference is, the Western Hemisphere, we're protected by 2 oceans. So what happens inside this hemisphere affects us. Greenland affects us. Canada affects us. The Caribbean affects us. What happens in Asia and Europe does not affect us, because if China takes over there, they still got to cross an ocean to cause problems over here. And that means we have early warning. We see it coming. It's logistically complicated, probably unfeasible. And, even the America First Committee by Charles Lindbergh and Henry Ford in World War II, they said the same thing. They said, stay out of World War II. They said the Nazis could win the war. It doesn't affect us. But they said hemispheric defense. They said the Monroe Doctrine and George Washington's farewell address, they said that's the foundation of success for America. So, and that's honestly, that's geopolitics 101. Like that field of knowledge or field of thought is founded by Spikeman and Mackinder. They came up with different ideas about how world politics works, and they both said the same thing. They said, we are unthreatened by anything outside of the Western Hemisphere.
So Trump right now, you're very happy about this. How much do you think he's prioritizing our country versus Israel?
It's not great.
How do you serve, because you can't serve two masters.
Right.
So why is this specifically beneficial?
Well, I mean, why is this beneficial? We talked about it.
Yeah, but in the short term, yes. But do you think long term that is this something to be happy about? If we understand that long term, it's all going to benefit them.
No, this is not going to benefit them long term.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because Trump put out a new national defense strategy. I believe it's every 4 years they put one out. So Trump put one out in 17, Biden put one out in 21, we put one out in 25. I think back in December. This one was written by Elbridge Colby, who I believe is one of the strategic advisors. And the new national defense strategy, it actually surprised a lot of people. Everyone was expecting pivot to Asia. Get out of Europe, get out of the Middle East, and prioritize our future fight with China and Taiwan. But it didn't say that. The new NDS said this is a Latin American focus. We're all in on the Caribbean, Central and South America, talking about hemispheric defense, legitimate sphere of influence. And people were surprised because they said, everyone thought we're going to put all our guns over in the Pacific. They said, no, we're going to fight in this hemisphere. And, you know, at the end of the day, that is an America First foreign policy. Why could we not bomb Iran last week and support the protesters? Because we had a dozen ships in the Caribbean in our neck of the woods, and we only had 6 in the Middle East. So they said if we bomb Iran and they retaliate, we won't have Aegis missile defense systems to detect all of the missiles. We won't have a floating aircraft carrier to bomb Iran with waves of airstrikes. So we have to postpone it so we can...
Right, it's better to prioritize this hemisphere.
Totally.
Okay, I see your point. But then going up, last one, because I know you don't, politics is jester. So if America's a Christian country and now, okay, hemispheric defense, Monroe Doctrine, we can steal, we can kill as long as it benefits us. How do those two things coexist? How can you want to prioritize Christianity, but also steal and kill and kidnap as long as it benefits us?
Well, I mean, look, I think that when it comes to the affairs of states, and it's true that Catholics are very against this way of thinking, I don't think they're correct about this. I think they're wrong about this because I think that when it comes to governments, it is a different set of rules. And here's the difference. There is no overriding force in the world. So if you break international law, who do you go and tell? Like, there's no one that can enforce international law. There's no independent body. It's not like in a country where if I kill you or steal your shit, you go and call the cops. Your family calls the cops. They throw you in jail. And so what that means is that every state is responsible for their own security. And when it comes to large, complex societies, security is very expansive. Like, let's say, for example, that we get into a war with China and they don't trade with us anymore. Well, they make all our pharmaceuticals. So what happens now? We have no medicine. Can't make medicine. That's a big problem. So, like, if we can't have medicine, we're not safe. If this country has a problem with us, we don't have medicine. Point being is we have to secure supply chains, raw materials, resources, territory. We have to think about, what are the other guys going to do? It's sort of like a prisoner's dilemma. So I think that a lot more is justified with that way of thinking. And you could take it a step further and say, the Venezuelan regime is a criminal regime. This is a regime that runs on kidnapping, the drug trade.
Can you say the same about America?
No, I don't. I don't think the two are comparable.
What makes Venezuelan more criminal than...
They're much more corrupt. Much more.
The United States government isn't corrupt?
They are corrupt, but Venezuela is more corrupt.
How so?
Because that country doesn't even make anything. They sell a little bit of oil, and then almost everybody in the government is in on actual kidnapping. And you could talk to anybody from Venezuela, even in like this city, in Miami, and they will tell you, oh yeah, my brother got kidnapped 3 times, we had to pay a ransom. That doesn't really happen in America.
Kidnapping versus, Epstein, blackmail, there's both criminal, there's both corruption.
Yeah, but again, it comes down to third world level corruption where...
So petty crime versus grand crime?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, because I mean, you could talk about a lot of the things that happen in America. You could say that's greasing palms. You could say it's untoward, or maybe it looks improper. In Venezuela, you get kidnapped by gangsters that the government allows to operate, and you got to pay them to let you go.
But then we kidnapped the president, so we're doing.
Yeah, because he runs this criminal
so you're fighting
enterprise.
crime with crime.
Well, I mean, strictly speaking, you could call it an extradition. And say we charged him for. We're not kidnapping and saying, "Hey, pay to let him go," because we're gangsters. We're kidnapping him, really for the sake of
That's what I'm saying. We also admitted that it was like the kidnapping. The whole indictment was bullshit. Like the cocaine and machine guns. That was just written so that we could justify the regime change.
Yeah. That being said, I mean, it is technically true. Like their government is involved in the cocaine trade. It is a criminal enterprise. I don't think that we should go and arrest every government that is corrupt. We do have to arrest every government on earth. But for people to say, oh, you're stealing their shit, first of all, I would say we have a right to, but if you wanted to go further, I would say they're fucking criminals anyway. They're fucking gangsters. Fuck them. And it's left-wing pieces of
Christian.
shit.
It's a Christian country.
It's a socialist country.
Which comes first?
For that regime, socialism.
And what about in America?
Well, America has a liberal regime. Theirs is socialist, ours is liberal. But, I mean, you could say the people are Catholic in Venezuela, but the regime is socialist. It's not like they have a theocracy. It's not like they have a religious state. They have a socialist government run by criminals. So I say fuck them. I mean...
They're socialists, but he did ban porn. Didn't he ban gay marriage as well? He banned usury.
But who cares? I mean,
So, I mean, economically, you're saying that it's not Christian because it's socialist, but value-wise, he was far more Christian than Trump.
But it's run by thieves, and the people are hungry.
Trump's a thief, too, based off of this. Yeah,
but the people aren't starving to death. The people don't have to eat rats. They don't have to pay to get their relatives freed from gangsters. And I just hate all the moralizing from... It feels like deja vu. You get socialists, atheists, left-wing pieces of fucking shit, and they're like, oh, well, you're Christian. How can you support this? It's like, you're not Christian. You're not Christian. You're some socialist. You're some peoples of the world unite, workers of the world unite. This is a government where the people have to eat fucking rats because everybody is in on the grift. They can't even make their oil because they're stealing all the money. And people are being kidnapped off the streets. Since when do you care about morality? So I say fuck them. We have to have some moral conviction and say, I'm not going to be told what's right by some left-wing socialist piece of garbage. Because that's really what that is. And this idea of sovereignty, they got this country together, now they own the 1 trillion barrels of oil. Says who? They can't defend it. And if they had more power, they'd be doing the same thing to us.
It just sounds, we can move on from this, but it just sounds inconsistent to be like, okay, we need to invade because they're morally corrupt and they're criminals, but then you fight it by committing a crime, by doing the same thing that you're accusing them of.
I'm saying it would be one thing if they were like some wholesome Chungus little country and they were all Christian nationalists and they were all like meekly praying and the evil empire was just trying, if it was like the Dalai Lama and like Tibet, that would be one thing. But it's like, adding insult to injury, not only are they in our way, not only are they giving us the finger, daring us to kidnap them.
By dancing?
Yeah, but they suck too. But they're like, the country's totally mismanaged. They can't feed their people. They are criminals and gangsters and they're in the drug trade. So it's like, now you want to make a moral argument? Okay, well, you want to go there. You're a tin pot little socialist dictator.
But we've been saying the same things about the current American government right now. That these people have been blackmailed by Epstein, that they're...
All right, chat. They have been going at it. I do appreciate what Nick is saying, and I kind of agree with Nick. Like, sometimes you just have to live in reality, and reality isn't pretty all the time, and sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, especially to keep America the same way you want to be, where we can get on YouTube and be safe and chill. But yeah, nothing too crazy. not a crazy date. I like that they had the conversation and they didn't like get mad at each other or like stop talking to each other because they was disagreeing. But yeah, today was a nice day today. Appreciate y'all for stopping by. Kind of got to end it a little short. I know we wanted to finish this video because they was really getting into it, but it's only like 5 minutes left. But yeah, I will see y'all boys on Wednesday. Get into that next Joel and Webin and Nick video. So it should be a good Wednesday. All right, so I'll see y'all boys later. Peace!
The bitch shaking it, showing it. You this, you that. We laughing at them together. Oh! So stop treating these like they mean something.
Let's go to TikTok.